senior year, coming off a really great season. Have you ever gotten just a chance to like maybe sit down, maybe just think about what you want to do this season now that your time is about to come to an end?
Yeah, it's super cool to think about just how long I've been here and just how many new faces I've been able to play with, how many different teams I've been able to play with. So it's exciting to sit back and think of kind of what's happened, but also look forward and just be super excited for this season. We've got an awesome group, new group, and it's just really cool to be in a leadership position to where I can try to make the best impact I can on these young ones and then ones who are going to step into a leadership role next year when I'm gone. So there's so many opportunities just for, a last impact on the field, off the field. And I'm just excited to kind of finish strong with this group because this is, one of the most talented groups I've been a part of. So it's a great group to finish off with.
How much has this place changed from when you showed up to now?
Yeah, I think just the style and just how Coach runs things has stayed the same. It's been the same kind of expectations, but just as you get older, you kind of have a different perspective because you step into different roles and you grow as a player and a person. So I know that, it always gets tougher because there's more just expectations as you get older and you do take on leadership roles. So that's kind of changed a little bit, but ultimately just the expectations from Coach for the team has been the same. And I think that's kind of shown in how consistent we've been as a program throughout my career here.
Grace, I think you've known Elena Torres for a minute, being from the Phoenix area. Yeah. What can you tell us about her, and what do you expect to see out of her this season?
Yeah, we've actually been rivals growing up. She was on the Sun Cats, I was on the Firecrackers. So we've had some awesome kind of interactions growing up playing in Arizona. So I never officially played on her team until now. So it's really exciting to do that. And just to know her as a player growing up, I know she's feisty, she's competitive, and gets after, and that's the kind of teammate that I want. So I'm excited to play with her in whatever role she steps in. It's just a very competitive team. So people are going to find their spots how they may, and it's going to be cool because we're very versatile.
I suspect she's one of the options probably to play next to you at third. There'll be new third, new first baseman. What's your role? And do you and Tiare have any sort of different responsibility, being that you are going to have newbies at the corners?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's been cool to kind of grow with Tiare and kind of learn each other as we go. Middle infielders are one of your most important leaders on the field just because you're relaying things to the outfield and you want to be able to be behind your pitcher. So we've definitely just been able to kind of, bounce things off each other on how we want the infield to be run. And, the newcomers are stepping in, whether they are on the team and finding a new position or their transfers. Everyone's kind of on the same page of we just want to blend together and be all on the same page in how we kind of run the infield. So it's meshing very well.
And how are you feeling physically now? I guess, was it your shoulder that you had some surgery to clean up?
Yeah.
What's that process been like coming back from that?
No, it's been great. I know that I took a little bit of time off just to kind of get that figured out, and it's been cool the last couple of weeks. Rehab is kind of slowing down to where now I can pick up and get back to normal. I've been able to throw 100% now, and I think it's really cool just to jump back in there like I wasn't gone. So I did miss those fall games, and I was a bummer just to not, be able to compete against my own team. But it's been cool because, I'm back and I'm excited. I feel healthy. I feel strong, even stronger than before. So it's going to be cool to finish this out.
Obviously, you had a big fall there with what happened late November. What's that been like?
Man.
Since then?
Yeah, no, it's exciting. If anyone doesn't know, I got engaged, and it's really cool because our stories just kind of took off, and it's really cool what we stand for, and that we can, make that faith-based impact around the country and just stand for something different. So it's been cool to just continue to have that impact on his YouTube channel, things like that. But it's exciting to prepare for a wedding and, what's next. So it's just been a really cool process, specifically with, OU fan base being around it, everyone supporting us. I love it, and I wouldn't want anything different.
Hey, Grace, with the decision to have that procedure on your shoulder, you didn't have it in the off season. You came back. Was there sort of a moment when you realized, I think I need to do this? And was there any concern about timing and bleeding over into potentially the season start?
Yeah, I was praying about it. I was just trusting the Lord that whatever decision I was going to make was going to be the best for the team and for myself. So I kind of did my research, talked to the professionals, and made sure that I was going to be back and ready. If the Lord wanted that, and thankfully I'm back and healthy. So it worked out great, and I think I definitely had to think about it and make sure I was prepared. But I would have made the decision that's best for the team, and that's what happened.
Was the other alternative just to play through whatever pain you were in before? Is that kind of what you were balancing? Like, do nothing, just rest and see what happens?
Yeah, that was, I think, coming into my last season, I had to kind of think about the pros and cons of what was going on. And, it wasn't anything crazy that kind of was a season-ending injury at all. So it's just a little tune-up, I guess, just to make sure that I was strong and ready and kind of comfortable for season. And, it wasn't too long of a recovery process that would have kept me without making that decision.
Grace, your offensive game here has really transformed. Even you talked about early when we interviewed you, we talked to you, you had a baseball and you played a lot of baseball. Talk about, because you've become one of the best hitters in the game, so talk about that transformation.
Yeah, it's a very different game. It's been really cool and interesting to we study baseball hitters here even, and it's a similar game, but also we look at the kind of mathematics behind it, and we have such little decision-making time with how fast, pitchers throw. So, I made that transition early enough to where I didn't need to relearn it as I got into college and when the game got faster. But it's just cool to see how it translates to baseball, but also how it's different. And we kind of have to shorten things up and make sure that we're being concise and as little movement as possible to have the best result.
The power has shown up for you, though, in the last couple of years. You're now, you even hit you in a 4-hole last year. Talk about that development and how that came together for you.
Yeah, I think, one thing about hitting is, the mechanics and, learning your swing, but another part is the mental side. And JT has done such a great job of teaching us so many little details that go into hitting. And that's your mindset, how you approach your at-bats, knowing, what the pitcher's got coming at you. So all of those have nothing to do with your actual swing. So you want to do a lot of preparation beforehand. So, I've watched more film as the years went on, and I was just able to learn more about how to go into an at-bat to lead myself to, the best chance of success. So a lot of work kind of outside of the field to prepare for that and just to, allow my game to grow offensively.
Grace, you've talked about watching your teammates grow into leaders. Where have you seen that the most with Jada?
Yeah, Jada, she's a junior now, so she's had 2 years under her belt, and, she came in so athletic, and everyone knew she was just, an amazing athlete, a shortstop. And I know Coach loves shortstops just because she can turn them into whatever position she wants and kind of let them and let them grow in wherever she sees that they need to play. But she's definitely grown as a player, but also just as a woman, and just kind of learning her role, learning how to interact with people, and be a leader with her outfielders, and being able to just bring energy and, stay enthusiastic maybe when, she doesn't feel like it. So I think she's grown in so many different ways that when I'm gone, I'm excited for her to continue learning and growing, but continue to have that impact on young players that have that same energy as her, but need to learn how to kind of funnel it into the game. So she'll definitely have that big impact on those types of players who have a lot of passion.
Grace, it's been decades since the team's won 3 straight national championships. I know Patty doesn't want to dwell on that, but how do you guard against the added pressure as a team doing something that hasn't been done in years?
Right. I mean, like I said at the beginning, it's a new year, a new team. You kind of have to refocus and kind of forget about what was behind. That's kind of my mentality in life, and I know Coach definitely, translates that to our team and how she coaches, because you can't think about anything that you did in the past, whether it's a play that you just made an error on or 0 for 3 game you had last night. You can't dwell on that. You can't think about what happened before because it's a completely new situation. We've got so many new players and new positions, and I think our goal is just to go out and, to win games, do the best we can, hit the ball hard, and see what happens. But definitely having championships under our belt is an advantage because, we're confident, we know that we're talented, but that's not our ultimate goal, to go win another. I know, in the back of our minds it is, but ultimately we want to be the best that we can be, the best team that maybe OU has ever had. And I think that's kind of our main mentality going into season.
Hey, Grace. No, go ahead.
You mentioned preparing for a wedding. I want to ask about a teammate, Grace Green, who went through that this summer, and someone who's back this year. Can you talk a little bit about what Grace means to this team, especially as an older player who's been here for quite some time?
Yeah, she was my roommate freshman year. So about, 4 years ago, we came into this program together. We're the only super seniors left that came in that 2018 year. So it's been cool to kind of grow with her and to learn from her. I know she had an amazing freshman year, and then just kind of we had a lot of talent come in, and just things happen. And she's been able to really be one of the best teammates I've ever played with. Owning her role, owning her position is just, a comforter on the team, someone who everyone can go to and knows that she's got their back. She's going to encourage them. She's going to, get loud in the dugout and know when the runners are going. And that's an important role that every team needs. And she's doing a great job of just rallying people who are in those roles. And she's got a big bat. Can't forget about that. So if we need that bat in the lineup whenever it comes, she's ready. And she's getting better. And she's never taken that out of the equation. So she's ready when we need her. And she'll always be that awesome teammate. Sid is one of the coolest people I've met. Her personality is just so invested, but she always wants to get better. She's always open to, help in any way that anyone can give it to her. As a first baseman, people can think it's an easy position, but it's really not, because you're having to do relays and bunts and all this coverage stuff. So anytime that anyone gives her, some tips or anything, she's open to it. She loves the help, and that's what makes her a really cool player. We know her bat from ASU. It's, she hits bombs. So we're excited for that, but also defensively, wherever she fits in, she's going to have an impact just by being so coachable and being someone that anyone can really help with and get help from. So she's really cool.
Grace, you talked about how you think the program's changed from when you got here to now. How much do you feel like you've changed from since you got here to now, not just on the field, but maybe personally as well?
Yeah, I've definitely matured, and I thought I came into college spiritually mature, but I've grown so much, and God has used me in so many incredible ways, just with meeting my future husband, but also having the impact on my team, and just reminding people their identity is not in the sport, and that there's so much more than softball. And that's kind of been something that I've grown in learning how to go impact others and people who come and watch. How can we be that light to fan bases and little girls watching, and how can we inspire them? So I've definitely learned how to do that, and it's been so cool just to have that opportunity. I mean, you're only at the D1 level for 4, and I got a bonus 5 years, so I really embrace that. And as I'm now at my last year, I really want to leave that legacy and make sure that that's how I'm known when I leave.
How does Patty cultivate you guys are successful, but you were talking about not focusing on winning a championship. She was in here saying, we're not focused on winning. How does she cultivate that on the team? Because the pressure that seemed to be over you guys last year could have been crushing, but it wasn't. How did she cultivate that?
It honestly comes in practice. We treat practice like we need to get better every second, every at-bat. And I think our competition starts there. We face the best pitchers in the nation, and we're competing against the best hitters. So when we're focused on, the process and how we can work at practice, it really takes that focus off of championships, because we're trying to win the day. And that kind of allows our focus to just be on how we can get better as a team. And then I'm so excited to start playing, because then we can start beating other teams and having that competition. But we don't think about rankings. We don't think about just what other people are saying. So we really try to keep our circle small and just allow just the inside voices to have that impact.
Little things that you were trying to get better on in practice that you guys were realizing we're cheering this and not necessarily win. Do you remember anything in specific, like a time that the team really got hyped about something that was really small, but that you guys were so focused on getting better at?
Yeah, I know as an offense, JT really preaches just the idea of an offense and not just hitting. So in offense, you know, you have bunts, you have walks, you have hit by pitches, you have sacrifice, anything. And I think those are things that we really had to bring energy and practice to celebrate, because in the game, you know, you want to celebrate those small victories when you get a walk, and then walks turn into runs. So we definitely had to focus on that in practice, because, you know, you could get bored at practice if you're not celebrating those things and you're just getting through the day. But making sure we're intentional about what we're celebrating as a team was huge.
Thanks, Grace.
Thank you.